Hey, so it is Dawn Nicole here. And listen, I wanted to take time out to actually share with all of you in hopes of motivating, inspiring, or just shedding light with each of you 10 life-changing, game-changing lessons that I learned in 2023 that really allowed me to shatter the glass ceiling and just really hit new ground. A lot of them, some of them were painful lessons, some of them were lessons I needed to learn, and others just helped me to soar. So I'm going to share these 10 lessons with you and be very clear and concise, and put in the comments which one of these lessons motivated you or inspired you the most. Lesson number 1 is what a difference a year makes. Do not judge the start of your year in order to determine what the end of your year is going to look like. You guys, I'm a living example. When I started this year in 2023, I was doing something totally different. My husband and I were working together in a completely different business. He still has the business today. I'm a partner, but I'm not actively working in that business. That business was an AI ed tech company, had a lot of passion for it, a lot of love for it. We had a slow start, believe it or not, in 2023 where we had to sort of prove the demand. But then once we got rolling, we hit the ground rolling. And so my lesson learned is that don't judge the start of something to try to determine what the end is going to look like. That is not always the case. I learned firsthand that you could have a slow start, but then really propel your way to success. We ended up creating demand by doing some talks, brokering some new relationships. I even found myself hiring at the beginning of the year and then letting talent go quickly. We hired way sooner than we needed to. We didn't really understand the model just yet. But by the time we got to the end of 2023, we were rocking and rolling. We were multiple grants in. So we had gotten funding. We had major clients. We had figured the thing out. So do not give up on yourself if you have a slow start. That would be lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, we always talk about being at the table and in the room, which is really, really important. But one of the things that I learned this year is sometimes it's not about you being at everybody's table, and instead it's about who you are bringing to your table. And I want to make that real clear distinction, because when you're at other people's tables, you're still looking for space, right? You're looking to create space, which is great. Take up space, get space, right? If you have to kick down the door sometime, you have to. But there comes a point in time where it's time to bring people to your tables. What are your terms? What is it that you want? What's your vision? What is your task team? When are you going to go from being the invited to the invitee? You start to invite people. And so really think about in 2024, what does it look like to bring people to your table? What do you want? Lesson number 3. This one was big for me because I tend to take life very optimistically. I'm an optimistic person, sort of sunshiny, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed at times. But this is what I learned, is that sometimes people check back with you to see if you failed yet. I'm going to say it again. Sometimes the people who keep checking your page and circling back and texting you, how's it going, right? These are sometimes people who are checking in to see if you failed yet. So what do I want you to do with that information? Yes, while you have a lot of people rooting for you, you also have some people who are laughing and thinking that you won't make it and underestimating you. And no, the answer is not to give any energy to them, of course not. But what you've got to do instead is keep going, because somebody is depending on you to make it, and somebody keeps checking back to see if you failed yet. Don't even give them the ability to have that energy or to have that credit, right? You keep on going despite how hard it is, despite your tough days, because the days will get tough. Keep on going. Prove them wrong. Prove it to yourself that you are right. And by the way, let me say something about winning and failing that no one will tell you. Even if you try something and you fail it, your failures are yours to own. You're allowed to fail sometime. And even when you win, those wins are yours to credit and to feel good about. So no one gets the right to take that from you anyway, okay? So I just wanted to say, regardless of if you win or fail and you got to keep on going, the beauty about making mistakes is that one day you will get it right. Number 4, this one is really important. Somebody needs to hear this. My friend, listen, lean in. You will only attract the most authentic people to your circle when you become the most authentic version of you. Oh, I'm gonna say it again. You will attract the most authentic people to your circle when you become the most authentic version of you. Now, people sometimes think that authenticity is like how you wear your hair. I'm gonna wear my hair blue, right? Or green, and I'm gonna do something really wild and funky, right? Sometimes authenticity is not just about your look and how you show up, but it is about walking in your purpose. Are you being really, really true to the thing that you're called to do? Not what someone told you to do, not what you used to do as your job at work, and you just think, oh, I'm gonna convert this into a business, right? And not what someone else told you were good at, but the real thing that keeps calling you, the thing that people call you for naturally, that you're ignoring, that's not the sexy thing, and so you don't think it's valuable. Listen, I'm the queen this year of learning that lesson. If you know anything about my story, you know that for the past 7 years, I've been introducing people to people. I'm like a massive connector. I do it naturally. Every time I have two people together, I'm introducing somebody and I'm like, this is Susan and Susan does this. You need to know her. She's amazing. Actually take out your phone and do, right? So I'm just like a massive connector. My kids joke that I should have been an announcer or like way deep into marketing, but I have this natural gift to connect people. And for many, many years, I didn't think it was valuable. I didn't think there was anything sexy about it because everybody connects people, right? Wrong. Let me tell you something. I had no idea that the way that I connected people was not just these divine, powerful connections, but then these connections that would lead to outcomes, right? Tangible things, experiential things that people would walk away and they would have more of, or they would be more clear and their lives would be changed because of a connection that I made. Well, for some odd reason, I didn't see value in that for many, many years. And then in 2023, the light bulb went off in August, literally in August, after having this huge event called Queen City Women in Business, Hat and Tea Lunch. And on my way home, I got so many text messages and people just congratulating me and thanking me for these connections. I kind of took a step back and said, wait a minute, I'm in the wrong business. I actually need to figure out how to make a business based on my connections, based on my network. And my friends, that's how Queen City Women in Business was born. It was literally my organic network that was really having wins by knowing each other. And I had to figure out how to turn that model into a business. And I'm proud to say that I've been able to do that very shortly with a great team of women who are helping me do it. And we're not just connecting, now we're connecting with a purpose for small businesses to do major business with major organizations. So don't sleep on your natural gift. Do not sleep on that thing that you think is not important or not sexy because it doesn't look like the thing, right, that society says it should look like. Really pay attention to your natural gift and what you can do in your sleep effortlessly without thinking, because I guarantee that's your it. Number 5, your vision. Listen, your vision is not for everyone. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna say it again. Your vision is not for everyone, and that's okay. Like, I think we spend a lot of time as like entrepreneurs and visionaries, right? We want people to get it on the first run. We like run it off and we tell people what we do, and then we're like, right? It's good, right? And when we don't get the reaction or the response that we think we should get, we're troubled. Some of us even think, well, maybe it's not a good idea. And you're saying that because this person didn't respond. I got news for you. Your vision was given to you, not them. And everyone is not gonna get it. Your vision is not for everyone, and that is okay. My friends, I would bore you if I did an entire YouTube around how I tried to push this vision, right? This vision of Queen City Women in Business. People didn't get it at first. Like, what do you mean you're gonna create a business connecting people? And then what? And then there's gonna be outcomes, right? And I'm connecting small businesses with major organizations so that women business owners can have more success. They don't have to stay small businesses. And you're gonna have people who either don't get it or they don't want to get it, if you get my drift. And so you've got to know how to keep going despite that. You also have to know how to keep your mouth shut. Oh, did she say that? Yes, listen. Sometimes you have to know how to say less. You also have to know how to read a room. You even have to know if you're in the right rooms, if you're speaking to the right person about your vision, right? Because sometimes the right vision said to the wrong person, right, is a mistake. And so you want to avoid that. If you have to keep your vision to yourself, and just really surround yourself with people who believe, who can help in what you're doing, who can get you to the next level. Again, your vision is yours, whether it's yours to fail on or yours to succeed with, it is yours. It is not for everyone. So understand quickly, fast and furiously when you don't have the support of the person you're talking to, but you keep on going despite that. This one is big. Number 6, this is a big one. So this year, I really did a good job of standing up for myself in every single way. And you all, it made a world of difference. So I'm going to talk about this one a little bit because obviously we're taught at grade school how to stand up for ourselves. So some of you are like, oh, I don't have a problem with that. I stand up, right? Let me explain, because I'm not talking about getting in people's face and getting indignant or anything like that. Sometimes standing up for yourself is reintroducing yourself. Sometimes a reintroduction of who you are and who you've become is necessary to your current circle. Okay, because this is the deal. Sometimes your current circle can only see you in the way that they first met you, right? So the way that they meet you is the way that they see you, and they have a problem seeing you in your new space, in your new light. And so it's really important that you stand up for yourself, correct people when they get it wrong. The reality is that the way that they see you is simply the way that they see you. But if you're gonna stay in that circle and people continue to not see you or disrespect you or get your narrative wrong, correct them. You know, I will tell you that in 2023, standing up for ourselves not only got us a world of opportunities, it got us through grant opportunities. I challenged some things. You know, I stood firm on what I believed in 2023. And it's not that I didn't believe in things before 2023, but I wasn't as vocal. So I used to go away and internalize a lot of things, right? Whether it was in a friend circle or in a business meeting or how I was treated, I would go away and internalize it, and it only lived in here. They didn't go anywhere, which means nothing could be done about it. But in 2023, I became really, really aware and in touch with who I was and who I wasn't and what I was willing to stand for. And there's something that happens to you when you become really, really in tune with yourself. And maybe it's when you're deep in the 40s and you're starting to get to that 50, you know, life is different, right? You start to see the world differently. And so this year, I found myself correcting people. I found myself clarifying. I found myself making sure that people got my narrative right. I found myself in a very professional way challenging things that just really didn't sit well with me, right? Asking a deeper level of question, basically fighting for myself. So make sure that in 2024, as we go into the new year, you fight for the things you believe in. And fighting doesn't always look like this, right? Fighting is sticking around after the fact to ask the question. Fighting is asking, what is the alternative approach to this? Fighting is not taking the first answer. How can we make it work? Instead of telling me how this doesn't work, what is the path to making this work? Number 7, this one is probably one of my favorite, even though they're all kind of my favorite. Number 7 is, your problem is not your problem. It's your opportunity. I'm going to say it again. Your problem is your opportunity. Because although you all heard me speak about me being a connector and connecting all these women, what you probably didn't know is through all of that, when we had our AI company, my husband and I was running the company day-to-day operations full time. One of the things that happened for us is we started to climb the ladder of success. We ended up on the Roland Martin show. We ended up making world history as being the first AI ed tech company to accredit an AI instructor courses, right? We did all these great things. And at the time, it felt like the city where we lived and the state where we lived wasn't recognizing us. It was also incredibly difficult for us to take our practice and our package and our skill set and make it into big corporate. We wanted to work with corporate clients and corporate opportunities. So what did we do? We started asking questions. We started to learn who's who. What do we need to do? We found out we needed all these great certifications, which I already knew about. We went and got the certifications, you all. We played the game. We got the certifications. We attended the meetings. We did all the stuff you're supposed to do, the speaking events, I mean, you name it. And it still did not amount to the outcome we had intended. Why? So I started digging. Why is this so hard? Why is it hard for small businesses, right? Minority or what have you, whether you call yourself a minority business, small businesses, period, who have the capacity, they have the talent, they have the performance, they have the chops, right? Why is it difficult to do business in a major city that is looking for diverse suppliers? So I started asking questions, right? I told you this was the year of challenging and standing up for myself. And so as I started to ask questions, this became apparent that this was a problem for me. And after pushing the envelope and asking around, it then became apparent it was a problem for many other small businesses, particularly women. Y'all, I have a problem. And now I don't have a problem. I have an opportunity. And so what I did is I married up my big network of women business owners everywhere and said, hey, ladies, do you want to do big business with corporate? Is it me or is it difficult today? And once we all agreed it was difficult, now we have a common mission, ladies and gentlemen, right? To make it easier for women small business owners and any business owner that's small to do major business with big corporations. And so that's really the crux of Queen City Women in Business. Takeaway for me that I'm going to share with you is that look at your problem as not your problem. It could be and it will be your opportunity if enough people have the same problem. Number 8, people don't need compliments. They need opportunities. I'm going to say it again. As a woman business owner, I don't need, oh my gosh, Dawn Nicole, you're so smart. You're so strategic. She speaks well. Great. I don't need the compliment. I need an opportunity. So in 2024, let's give people who you want to give compliments opportunities along with that compliment. It goes further, right? So I'm going to encourage each one, reach one, each one, teach one. If you come across someone and they are a killer event planner, a killer speaker, right? They are great at what they do, right? They're a therapist, they're this and that. Give them the referral. Give them another opportunity. This is how we grow and scale a strong economy, you all. This is the beginning of economic development at its best. Okay, so this one's good. And I know y'all say that I say that with each one, but seriously. So this is called this. Stop auditioning for people. Oh my gosh, this one was so big for me this year, y'all. Let me say this. As a previous theater person, I'm gonna tell you now, in my previous life, 2013, 2015, look me up, I did theater production, I wrote and produced multiple stage plays, and I learned some things in doing that, and I'm gonna tell you, there is a time to audition, and there is a time to play the part. I'm gonna say it again, okay? There is a season for you to be auditioning for everyone, and then there is a season for you to just go out and do it. Stop auditioning, it is time to play the part already. You already know the script, you already know the play. Get out there on that stage and do what God has called you to do. Go do the thing. Stop asking for permission. Stop asking if you can do it. Stop waiting to be invited, right? So I'm telling you this and I'm getting like so worked up because I spent a lot of time auditioning. It turns out that when you have a net new idea, right, that feels novel, you haven't really tried it in the market. For whatever reason, people tell you, oh, you need to make sure to play politics now. You don't want to step on toes. When I first came out with my idea for Queen City Women in Business, right, this concept of connecting small businesses to major companies, right, with the whole mission for us to get major accounts, so many people said, be careful. This group already does something similar. This group does that. This group does that. Go ask permission. Go play nice. Y'all, that got me nowhere. Playing nice got me nowhere but wasted time. And listen, I was humble. I was on everybody's calendar, at everybody's table, waiting and seeking and spending gas money, going to the next town in the next city, right? Waiting and wanting. And then one day it hit me, girlfriend, it is time to stop auditioning and it is time to play your part like only you know how. So I'm going to tell you this. There is a season for you to audition if you're in the business of gaining sponsors or partners, right? Or sharing a vision. And then there is a season for you to get on that stage and do what God called you to do. And this brings me to number 10. Start with where you are. Ooh, this is good. So many times, you all, we think we gotta wait. Oh, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till I have this much money. I'm gonna wait till I have this many people. I'm gonna wait till after the holidays. I'm gonna wait until I know more. I'm gonna wait. Let me tell you something. If you can't show and prove that you can enact change, that you could be effective with a little bit, how are you going to be effective with a lot? Okay? That is something you really need to think about. Start with where you are. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes enough of the right thing. If you've got 2 or 3 little stones, you take those 2 or 3 little stones and figure out the best way to position them to start the process. For me, you have to think, I went from having 0 members. No one knew who we were. We were doing events, right? We were doing Queen City Women in Business events. We were just having fun, doing events with a purpose. And it was through these events that I got the aha moment after people kept having outcomes that made me say, oh my gosh, I've got a business. I got to put this thing together as a business, right? But keep in mind, I didn't have a team yet. I didn't have funding yet. I didn't have the business established yet, right? And truthfully, I was still operating with my husband's business. He and I were working hand in hand in that business. And I had a heart-to-heart with him and talked to him about how I was feeling called to really be in this authentic place, to be at this next level. And I shared that with him. And when I shared that with him, he wanted that for me. And then he basically said, okay, wife, do what you need to do. I agree. I see it. I see how these women come to you and the outcomes you produce. Okay, so now it's the next day. Now what? Do I wait? Well, do I wait until I'm established? Do I wait until I have a certification, right? What do I do? You start with right now. You know what I started with? I went and I took that attendee list, everyone who had previously registered for all the events that were Queen City Women in Business. My first goal was to influence and inspire them to convert themselves to become members, right? I started with nothing before the website was ready. Y'all better hear me, because some of you all are waiting to be perfect. Some of you are waiting for everything else before you show up, and you're not taking what you have right in front of you and making it work. And somebody's going to take those 2 little things, and they're going to take those 2 seeds and grow a forest. You don't have to wait. You can take what you have and start today, not tomorrow. If today is a phone call, call. If today is a text, text. If today means 1 or 2 discovery emails, teaser emails, send the email, right? Ask the question, okay? So start with what you have. Stop waiting on perfection, because perfection will never come, and the perfect set of circumstances is never just going to be brewing in front of you like some mystical mist. Instead, sometimes the staircase shows up when you take the first step. Start with what you have. And the last bonus thing, I know I said 10, but it's too good. Bonus. Listen, take the vacation. Take the vacation. Life is too short. Take your vacation. Eat the cake. Shoot your shot. Make the call. Okay? Have the dance. Life is too short. In 2023, there's been so many people that was here on Friday that was no longer with us on Monday. True story. I'm not going to get into it, but it's true. That's how life, like for me, when I think about life and death, death is the epitome of the incomplete thought. It is you doing something and it just suspends you and stops you and you're done. Don't wait to do it. Go ahead. If you need a vacation, take the vacation. True story. In 2017, I was doing a totally different business. Like I said, I'm not new to this business thing, okay? I was doing a totally different business, and I was locked to my computer. I was locked to the email, locked to my phone, scared to take a vacation because we were trying so hard, right? So we were sourcing leads and making calls and just didn't want to go anywhere. And I remember in 2017, we ended up in June, I think, we took a vacation to Niagara Falls, okay? So we take this vacation, we go to Niagara Falls, and something miraculous happened. We go to Niagara Falls, we're gone for a week, and finally when I got plugged back in, I couldn't wait to get home, you all. I couldn't wait. On the way home, I kept on saying to my husband, oh, I want to go home because I'm sure we got so much business just waiting. Guess what? Not one email, one voicemail. Nobody was checking for us, which means had I sat there for a week or had I gone vacation, it didn't matter to the world. That also meant I was in the wrong business. So when I came home, one of the first things we did is we ditched that business model that we had at the time. I think if you followed us back then, it was what's your secret sauce assessments. We were trying to help people discover themselves. Anyway, but I digress. The point is, take the vacation, take the picture, laugh a little, stay a little longer, send the text, all the things that we keep trying to put in the box and say there's not time. I just can't, because in reality, the world around you is going to keep on moving with or without you. Enjoy your life. Y'all, those are my tips, my life-changing, game-changing tips for 2023. I hope that it helped somebody. If it did, if it inspired you, if it motivated you, let me know which tip you loved. Put it in the comments below. Share your tips with me. We'll be reading it. And listen, have a wonderfully blessed 2024. I'll see you later. Take care. Dawn Nicole, Queen City, signing off. Bye.